everyone, welcome to the second video in our brand new series addressing some of the questions that you have about wine. Today we're going to take it back to the basics, step back from cellaring in some of the more complex topics to talk about corkscrews, the very tool that you use to open and enjoy your wine. And so Tom is going to demonstrate for us today a little bit about two different types of corkscrews that you can purchase and which is better and how to use them. So Tom, take it away.
Thanks. So the corkscrew might seem a bit obvious. You know, people inherit them, they've had them from their cellar or their cabinets for years, or in the junk drawers, those sorts of things. But if you're only going to have two corkscrews, the kinds you want is you want a basic waiter pull. So this is just a waiter's corkscrew, just sort of opens up like that. And these can range anywhere from about $5, which is about the minimum you should ever pay for one of these, up to about, in this sort of style, about $400 or $500.
Wow.
For the most part, you won't want to spend that much money. Something like this will last you, this one was about $25 to $40 and will basically last you your entire life if you want to. So it's a very easy, very straightforward thing to use. And what it does is it generally comes with a little knife. Sometimes it'll have a foil cutter instead. And to use it, you basically just take the knife. If there's a capsule on the wine, you just want to cut that capsule off. Now keep in mind I'm left-handed, so this would be backwards if you're a righty. You just stick the cork in there and start twisting it in there. And this one has a two-step lever, so you can just sort of see it has a little ledge there, and this part just flips around just a tiny little bit. And this is the best kind to get because it helps prevent you from breaking the cork.
So that joint there will help to facilitate taking out the cork?
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you just set that first step down there, and then I'm just going to squeeze it around here, and you lever it up once, cork's about halfway out, and you lever it out the second time. Just gonna, and out the cork comes. Nice one piece.
Perfect.
Very easy to use, lasts forever.
Okay, and where can you get one of those corkscrews?
These you can pretty much find at any liquor store, restaurant supply store. You can find it in the supermarket. I would probably suggest not getting them at the supermarket. Okay. They're sometimes free with certain bottles of wine. Very easy tool you'll use most of all. And
are there any brands that or specific companies that produce that kind of corkscrew that you maybe should keep your eye out for? Probably
the best brand for sort of bang for your buck is to get one from Pull Tabs. So you'll see them around that $20 to $40 range. Usually has a Teflon coated worm, which is the screw part, and it'll pretty much last you forever. There's lots of other brands out there that aren't bad, they're not great, but they'll last you just as long as well. So I have several dozen of these sort of scattered around my house. Okay. Some are Pull Tabs, some are just sort of random brands, and they all work fairly well. So
perfect.
And of course you can get them in designer colors and things that you like. So if you want to match a certain decor, it's very, very easy to do.
If you wanted to coordinate it with the rest of your kitchen appliances, you could in fact do
exactly.
so.
Now I'm going to show you this other one, which is actually one that you might see in some stores and you might not know what this is. And it usually looks something like this. And if you pull the little sleeve off, it has a two-prong sort of look to it. And this is something that's called an Osso corkscrew.
Osso? Okay.
Yeah, so sort of for the two sort of Ginsu knives sort of look to it. That's not used very commonly now. Sometimes it's just referred to as a butler's friend or butler's thief. And what this will allow you to do is to actually open a bottle of wine without damaging the cork. So rather than punching the hole through the cork and getting it out. This one doesn't have a foil cutter, so I'm just going to use the other one for the foil cutter here. And what you do for this kind is you'll see one blade's a little bit longer than the other.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you stick the blade in there just between the cork and the bottle, and then you get the shorter one in there. And what you can do is you just sort of walk it in, and then with a twist, the cork comes out. So very easy, and then the cork's perfectly fine. If you're really creative, you could actually use the same process to shove the cork back in there. So why it's called a thief is that you could drink your fine wine, pour some plonk back inside, get the cork in, and no one would be the wiser.
Oh, well,
and so this is also a very handy corkscrew or device, I guess you could say, for broken corks or corks that you're having a lot of trouble with using a regular corkscrew for.
So if you wreck your bottle the first time with a bad corkscrew,
this is your backup. And with that, that's just how you use it.
Okay.
This can usually be found for less than about $10. And it's one of those tools that should be in the back of your junk drawer, and you never know when you might need it, but it always comes in handy.
Okay, so same last question. Where do I buy it? Who makes a good one?
I've never come across someone making a brand name version of this,
right.
But I've also never paid more than about $8, $9 for it. So it's just a very handy little thing. You won't use it every day, most likely, but again, just something that you really should have at home and sort of as part of your repertoire of tools, I guess.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is a little introduction to Corkscrews, how you can open your next bottle of wine with finesse and grace and class and without breaking the cork. See you next week.